now, the stakes are high in the Democratic Republic of Congo as the country goes to elections tomorrow. Over 40 million people are eligible to vote. Incumbent President Felix Tshisekedi has blamed some of the Congo's economic woes, including inflation, on external factors such as COVID-19 pandemic, the war in Ukraine, Ebola outbreaks, and the persistent security crisis in the east of the country. For more on this now, let's speak to SABC News reporter Ditaba Tsotetsi, who is in Kinshasa in the DRC. Ditaba, thank you so much for your time. Firstly, let's just start with how things are going.
Well, quite a very important occasion here in the DRC, Bongi. We know that the country is going for elections tomorrow, where they're going to elect a new leadership. A new president will be elected tomorrow. New members of the parliament will be elected also tomorrow. But the elections comes at a time where the country is facing instability in the eastern part of the country. We know that the war has been raging on in that part of DRC, which brings many challenges in this country. Amid these elections tomorrow, Bongi, we know that even the government of DRC has seek assistance from SADC, saying can they please deploy troops in that part of the country where they want to have peace before the elections tomorrow. We know that on Sunday, the troops from South Africa also arrived in this country. We understand also that there was East African community troops that were deployed in the eastern part of the country. But the government of DRC decided to cancel that contract, where we saw them pulling out because they say those troops in that part of the country were in cahoots with the rebels, where we saw many people being killed, but in the presence or under the watch of EAC troops in that region. Yesterday it was the last day of campaigning in the DRC, where President Felix Tshisekedi is seeking a re-election. He appealed to people of DRC to give him a second chance, where he wants to complete the programs he had started to improve the lives of the Congolese and also to improve the economy of this country. But instability in the eastern part of the country has brought many challenges, as I've said, because other people are not going to, or some people are not going to vote in tomorrow's elections, because the Electoral Commission here did not have a chance or did not have an opportunity to go and assist those people to register. Voter registration did not take place in that part of the country. So many people are going to be deprived of their right to vote tomorrow. They are going to be deprived a right to choose their own leader or members of parliament. We know in DRC, members of parliament are also elected during the voting, unlike in other parts of the continent where they will elect parties and members will come from the majority parties. But here in the DRC, they will be elected tomorrow. But we are told that it's all systems go for tomorrow. The country is ready for elections tomorrow. 44 million people have registered for these elections. We drove around the city in Kinshasa. Many soldiers are being seen in this part of the country, where they want to make sure that during the elections, during the elections and after the elections, there is peace in this country.
So, Ditaba, let's talk about then how free and fair is it going to be? Is the Electoral Commission at least expressing that as well? Because if you've got some 3 territories that are not going to take part, some people that have not even been able to get access to be on the registration drive and part of the voters' roll, what does it all mean then in terms of the fairness and the fairness of this particular process in the entire country choosing who it wants?
Yes, Bongi, we had an opportunity to speak to the Minister of Information here in DRC. I also asked the same question, saying, Minister, but more than 5,000 people, their names are not appearing on the voters' roll. Bongi, you won't believe, he said to me, 5,000 people in DRC, it is just a drop in the ocean. But I said, in terms of the fairness, as you asked the question, Bongi, the fairness of these elections, you need all those people who are eligible to vote. who have registered, you also need them in the ballot paper so that when you go for counting, you can come back and say the elections were free and fair. But if you have other part or some people in the country and who are eligible to vote, but did not exercise their right to vote, to choose their own leadership or their preference, their preferred leader, they also need to vote. But he said to me, this is the drop in the ocean. 44 million people have registered. So their focus was only going to be if many or millions of people. And another question again, Bongi, or another issue is that over 1 million people in that part of the country have been displaced. They have left their homes because of the war that is raging on in the eastern part. So this is going to affect the credibility, the fairness of elections, but the Electoral Commission, they also confirmed to us that the elections will be free and fair. But again, on that question, Bongi, the opposition in the DRC also, they said these elections won't be free and fair because some of the opposition rallies were disrupted. We saw violence. The main contender, Moise Katumbi, had to cancel one of his rallies because there was violence there. People were beaten up by police. So it brings a question, it raises questions whether these elections will be free and fair. But we were assured that yes, they will be free and fair despite those challenges.
All right, Ditaba, we'll continue then to monitor this through your eyes. If 1 million people are displaced, there's war that is raging, there is so much that is happening right now. And as you say, some of the names not appearing on the voters' roll, it begs the question, is the election free and fair? But we'll continue then to get more updates from you. That is SABC News reporter Ditaba Tsotetsi, who's coming to us live from Kinshasa in the DRC.